Number 1. Imagine pulling out a simple quarter from your pocket change and discovering it's worth thousands of dollars at auction. That's not just a dream for collectors, it's the shocking reality of one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the ultra-rare Washington quarter from 1965 with no mint mark. Stay with me because what looks like an ordinary coin could actually be a hidden fortune waiting to be found in your change jar or coin collection. To understand why this 1965 quarter is so special, we need to take a quick step back into American coin history. In 1965, the United States Mint made a groundbreaking change to its coinage by removing silver from quarters and replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This was due to the rising price of silver and the huge demand for circulating coins. But here's where it gets interesting. During this chaotic transition, some coins ended up being struck in ways collectors never expected, making the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark an extraordinary rarity. Now, every coin tells a story, and the 1965 quarter has its own secret features that make it stand out. Unlike earlier quarters struck in 90% silver, this one was part of the very first clad series. It carries no mint mark, which means it was struck in Philadelphia. But here's what makes it thrilling. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets intended for earlier dates. If you're lucky enough to spot one, you're holding a rare transitional error that collectors go absolutely crazy for. The rarity of this coin is tied directly to its condition and how it was minted. Circulated examples may look like ordinary pocket change, but if you find one with high detail and strong luster, especially in uncirculated grades, the value skyrockets. Collectors pay massive premiums for pristine examples because they represent a piece of American monetary history that can never be repeated. That's why searching your change, old rolls of quarters, and even inherited coin jars could turn into the find of a lifetime. So, what exactly should you look for when hunting this treasure? Start by checking the coin's date. It must say 1965, and it will not have a mint mark under the word "In God We Trust" or near the date. Then, pay close attention to the edge of the coin. If you see a solid silver edge instead of the modern copper-colored core, you could be holding a rare silver transitional error worth thousands. Use a simple scale to weigh it. Silver quarters weigh 6.25 grams, while clad quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. That tiny difference could mean the difference between pocket change and a jackpot. Collectors know that condition is everything, so if you find a shiny, crisp example with full details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse, you've struck gold. Well, silver in this case. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and certify these coins, and a certified high-grade 1965 transitional quarter can command jaw-dropping prices at major auctions. Now let's talk about the moment you've been waiting for. The market value of this ultra-rare 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark. This coin has shocked the collecting world by bringing in jaw-dropping prices at major auctions. In 2020, Heritage Auctions saw a rare silver transitional error graded MS62 sell for an incredible $16,800. Then, in 2023, a flawless mint state 68 example from Philadelphia, with no mint mark, set another record when it sold for more than $16,500 at a PCGS verified auction. And it doesn't stop there. Other silver planchet errors have crossed the block at Stack's Bowers and Heritage Auctions for $5,462, $7,200, and even $8,400. Imagine this. What looks like just 25 cents in your hand could secretly be worth over $16,000 in today's market. That's why collectors everywhere are scrambling to find this coin, and why the demand keeps climbing higher and higher every year. For collectors, the thrill isn't just about the money, it's about holding a piece of history in your hand. The 1965 quarter marks the moment America moved away from silver coinage, making it one of the most significant years in U.S. numismatics. And when a rare transitional error slips through the cracks, it becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a treasure that tells a powerful story of change, rarity, and discovery. If you're new to collecting, here's my best advice. Always check your change, especially those older quarters that might look dull or forgotten. Don't dismiss them, inspect them carefully, weigh them if you can, and learn the small details that separate a common coin from a rare gem. Visit coin shows, check online auctions, and connect with local collectors who can share their knowledge and help you on your treasure hunt. The more you learn, the better your chances of finding something incredible. So, the next time you get a 1965 quarter in your hand, don't just spend it, examine it. You might just be holding one of the rarest and most valuable Washington quarters ever struck, a coin that has stunned collectors and made headlines at major auctions. And who knows, maybe your pocket change could turn into thousands of dollars overnight. Thank you for watching, Coin Hunters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1965 Washington quarter, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our rare coin discoveries. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever found a 1965 quarter or another rare coin in your change? I'd love to hear your stories and help you figure out what treasure you might be holding. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, the next great coin find could be hiding in your pocket right now. Number 2. What if I told you that a quarter in your pocket, one that looks like a simple piece of change from 1976, could actually be worth thousands of dollars today? That's right. The Washington bicentennial quarter, dated 1776 to 1976, has stunned collectors with rare and valuable versions that continue to sell for eye-popping prices at auction. And the best part? Many of these treasures still slip through circulation unnoticed, waiting for someone like you to discover them. The year 1976 was no ordinary time in American history. It marked the 200th anniversary of our nation's independence, and to celebrate, the U.S. Mint created a special dual-dated Washington quarter reading 1776 to 1976. Instead of the standard eagle on the back, the reverse design features a colonial drummer with a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars, symbolizing the original colonies. This patriotic design was struck for only 2 years and became one of the most iconic coins in modern U.S. history. But here's where things get exciting. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these quarters with no mint mark. While most are common, certain rare errors, high-grade survivors, and special silver versions are incredibly valuable today. Collectors hunt especially for flawless examples in mint state condition or those struck on silver planchets, which were produced for special collector sets in limited numbers. The unique features of the no mint mark bicentennial quarter make it a thrilling find. If you flip one over and see that bold dual date, 1776 to 1976, with no mint mark below Washington's portrait, you've got the Philadelphia strike. In circulated condition, most are worth face value, but in uncirculated mint state grades, especially above MS67, their value rises sharply. Some even display striking errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws, which can multiply their worth dramatically. Now let's talk about rarity and condition, because this is where collectors go wild. Philadelphia minted hundreds of millions of these coins, but survival in pristine, untouched condition is very low. Coins graded MS67 and higher are rare and command big premiums at auction. And if you happen to find a silver bicentennial quarter without a mint mark that escaped from a special collector set, you're holding something extraordinary. These silver planchet coins, in top grades, are among the most desirable collectibles from the 1970s. So, what should you look for when hunting these treasures? First, check the date. It must read 1776 to 1976. Look for no mint mark, which tells you it came from Philadelphia. Next, examine the surfaces. Coins with sharp detail in Washington's hair, strong strike lines on the drummer's uniform, and a clean luster with no major scratches are the ones collectors crave. If the coin weighs around 6.25 grams, you may be holding a silver version, which is even more valuable. A magnifier or coin scale can be your best friend in spotting these details. Collectors demand these coins because they represent America's bicentennial celebration, a moment in history that will never happen again. That makes the 1776 to 1976 quarter not just a coin, but a piece of patriotic pride and heritage. Every collector dreams of adding the highest grade examples or rare errors to their collection, and auction houses continue to see fierce bidding wars when these coins appear on the block. And now, the jaw-dropping market values. At Heritage Auctions in 2023, a spectacular clad bicentennial quarter-graded MS-68 sold for an incredible $6,465, setting a modern record for this coin. In another case, Stack's Bowers Galleries offered a Philadelphia no-mint mark clad quarter-graded MS-67 in 2022, which brought in more than $1,400. These sales prove that even the clad versions can bring in four-figure prices when preserved in the highest grades. But it's not just the clad quarters. Silver bicentennial quarters have shocked collectors as well. At Heritage Auctions, a silver bicentennial quarter-graded MS-69 sold for more than $6,000, ranking among the highest prices ever paid for one of these historic coins. The silver issues were struck in limited numbers for collector sets, and when one survives in nearly flawless condition, the demand pushes its value sky high. Think about that for a moment. A simple 25-cent coin, worth a quarter at face value, has turned into over $6,000 at auction, both in clad and in silver versions. That's why people everywhere are going through old change jars, coin rolls, and inherited collections to see if they've got one of these hidden gems waiting to be discovered. For new collectors, here's the best advice. Never overlook a bicentennial quarter. Carefully inspect the surfaces, check for silver edges, and if you think you have a high-grade example, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Certified high-grade coins are where the biggest money is being made, and you could be holding one right now without even knowing it. So the next time you come across a 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter with no mint mark, don't just spend it, study it. You could be holding one of the most valuable bicentennial treasures in American coinage history, a coin that represents freedom, celebration, and the thrill of the hunt. Thank you for watching, coin hunters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare bicentennial quarter, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our future rare coin discoveries. And tell me in the comments, have you ever found a bicentennial quarter in your change, and did you check it for errors or silver composition? I'd love to hear your stories and help you figure out what treasure you might be holding. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, the next valuable coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. Number 3. Imagine finding a simple 1974 Washington quarter in your change and realizing it's not worth just 25 cents, but hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars at auction. That's the thrill behind the 1974 no-mint mark quarter from Philadelphia, a coin that looks ordinary but has shocked collectors with its incredible value when found in pristine condition. Today, we're diving deep into its history, unique features, collector demand, and the unbelievable prices these coins have achieved. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American pocket change since 1932, first minted to honor the 200th birthday of our first president, George Washington. By 1974, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters in massive numbers, with the Philadelphia Mint striking them without any mint mark. This small detail, the absence of a mint mark, has made these coins stand out, especially when they survive in the highest possible grades. Now let's look at the coin itself. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, a design beloved by generations of Americans. Flip it over, and you'll see the traditional eagle reverse, bold and sharp on well-struck examples. What makes the 1974 Philadelphia quarter special is that empty space beneath Washington's neck. Where you'd normally see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, there's nothing. That blank spot tells you it's a Philadelphia strike. But don't think every no-mint mark 1974 quarter is valuable. Most of the hundreds of millions minted are still worth face value. What collectors crave are the rare survivors in flawless, mint state condition. A coin with sharp details in Washington's hair, blazing original luster, and absolutely no distracting scratches can easily stand out among the crowd. These are the coins that grading services like PCGS and NGC label as MS65, MS66, or even MS67, And those grades make all the difference in value. So where can you find one of these treasures? The best place to start is surprisingly close to home. Search through old coin jars, inherited collections, or even rolls of quarters from the bank. Believe it or not, high-grade examples sometimes turn up in old savings that have been sitting untouched for decades. You'll also want to check coin shows, estate sales, and online marketplaces. But remember, the key is condition. Only coins in near-perfect grades will reach the kind of money we're talking about. Collectors value these quarters not only for their beauty but also for their challenge. Out of millions minted, only a handful survive in the ultra-high grades that auction houses demand. That rarity in top condition creates bidding wars, where determined collectors compete fiercely to own the finest example. The 1974 no-mint mark quarter has become a symbol of how a common date can transform into an elite rarity with the right preservation. And here's the moment you've been waiting for: the auction prices that will blow your mind. In 2020, Legend Rare Coin Auctions sold a spectacular 1974 Philadelphia quarter graded MS67 Plus for an astounding $2,115. That's right, over $2,000 for a 25-cent piece. And back in 2013, Heritage Auctions offered another gem, a coin graded MS65, which sold for $382. These sales prove the incredible demand for high-grade 1974 quarters and why collectors never stop hunting them. Think about it. Something as ordinary as a quarter, the kind we pass through our hands every single day, has the potential to become a life-changing discovery if it's preserved in the right condition. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the chance that the next coin you pick up could be worth thousands. For collectors just starting out, here's my advice. Always check the date and look for that missing mint mark under Washington's neck. Use a magnifying glass to examine the details, and weigh the coin to confirm it matches the standard clad composition of 5.67 grams. If you think you've found a gem, consider professional grading, because certified coins in top condition bring in the highest premiums. So, the next time you see a 1974 quarter with no mint mark, don't just spend it. Look closer, treasure the details, and remember that you could be holding a piece of hidden history worth far more than face value. Thank you for joining me today, coin hunters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the ultra-rare and valuable 1974 Washington quarter, hit that like button, subscribe for more exciting rare coin discoveries, and leave a comment below telling me if you've ever checked your change for hidden treasures. I'd love to hear your stories and help you uncover the next big find. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single coin.